to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video. Clive Barker's Hellraiser offered a fresh and terrifying vision that diverged sharply, get it, from the slasher genre. The sequel, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, delved deeper into the mythology and hell itself. They were unique, gory, disturbing, and next-level violent. This is Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. In Hellraiser 2, Pinhead, played by Doug Bradley, was split in two. His human vanilla self, Elliot Spencer, and the manifestation of his wild side, everyone's favorite spiky kink demon. Pinhead is trapped in a creepy sculpture, the Pillar of Souls. J.P. Monroe stumbles upon this evil sculpture in an art gallery and buys it like it's a piece from IKEA. This will look great in the man cave above the nightclub he owns. Edgelord Terry Farrell is Joey, an aspiring TV reporter who's stuck covering lame stories, like a slow night at a hospital. Then a guy is brought in, bleeding, with chains hanging off his body. They don't even secure the chains. They're dragging, whipping around, and Joey gets cut. Hospital sued by reporter, film at 11. Joey tries to interview a witness named Terry, but she says no comment. She does mention the Boiler Room, a nightclub owned by Captain Hairdo over here. The patient is in trouble, and they're going to need a bigger hacksaw. Is this where he turns into Doc Ock? Gee, thanks for the flatline. We weren't sure he died when his head exploded. Joey's convinced there's a bigger story here, but nobody cares. No video equals fake news. Meanwhile, at the Boiler Room, where everybody knows your name and don't give a shit, Joey follows her story. She's hoping to find the girl from the hospital. Dark hair, too much eye makeup, should be easy to spot. She does find the douchebag who owns the place, who's as helpful as the instructions for the Lament configuration. We interrupt this movie for Band of Brothers. I don't recall the Dominion War being so casual. Terry agrees to talk to Joey in exchange for a place to crash and smoke. JP enjoys the edgier things in life, so this fits right in. Then he gets bitten by a toy rat and he bleeds all over the pillar. But the pillar soaks it all up.
Feed me, Seymour.
Terry makes breakfast for Joey while destroying the kitchen. Then the gals break into the gallery where the pillar came from. But they do find some useful stuff.
Check it out. It's the box.
JP has a haircut that says, "I have money so I don't need a stylist." He finds tonight's conquest and they hook up. Afterward, he's just done with her. JP, after all, stands for just penis. They argue. She gets a little close to the pillar and then Pinhead tags in. Here come the hooks. She loses her skin and eats her all up. Skin first, like fried chicken. Pinhead gets a little stronger, but he still looks like he's frozen in carbonite.
If you have a quality, be proud of it. Let it define you, whatever it is. And stop sucking in your gut.
He strikes a deal with JP. Bring him more victims to feed on, and he'll make with the unearthly delights. It's Little Shop. It's Little Shop of Horrors.
And get me some lunch!
Joey watches an exposition tape with a cameo from the star of the previous two films, Ashley Lawrence.
The box.
The same box she's had in her apartment this whole time. Terry used to date JP, so he comes a-callin' and she goes over, and then he tries to feed her to the pillar.
Come today.
Oh, he said the thing! JP needs her to stand a little closer to the pillar, but she just doesn't want to go anywhere near it. If this were today, he'd have to pry her away from taking Instagram selfies next to it. But he has to take a more direct approach. And she's even more direct. She's got brass knuckles, and that's the end of that.
Wait!
Pinhead can see he bet on the wrong pony, so now he appeals to Terry and gets her to feed him JP instead. This releases Pinhead, and he's off to the club.
My name was Spencer. Elliot Spencer.
Elliot's ghost fills Joey in on the situation, including a replay of his transformation into Pinhead and tips on how to defeat him.
Bring him here, to my dominion, where I have power.
and only then will she become a true Jedi. I might have mixed up my notes. Meanwhile, at the boiler room, Pinhead in the hizzy.
Shall we begin? Shots.
Pinhead just wipes out everybody. The clientele, the people who work there. These people just wanted to dance and possibly do illicit drugs. They weren't hurting nobody. Pinhead needs new Cenobites, since they were all killed in the last movie by Megatron. Joey sees this on TV, so she grabs a box and heads out. It's safe to assume that this nude broadcast is an illusion. How do you lure a TV reporter into a trap? With a big story full of lots of dead people. Joey arrives just in time to save nobody. There are so many bodies all over the place, and Pinhead is like,
They were like that when I got here.
She runs away, a power line breaks, and then a fire hydrant explodes, so now she's being chased by electrified water. I didn't question it. If people can outrun the wind,
Oh, that's okay.
she runs into her former cameraman, turned Cenobite, cameraman. He's got a camera lens embedded in his skull, and that's also a ray gun for some reason. She doesn't do this bystander any favors.
Run! Get out of here!
And he gets an extreme close-up. Other new Cenobites show up. Gotta sell those action figures. CD guy who's lethal with digital media. It's cool, he's shooting CDs at his victims. LPs would just be too cumbersome. This entry is certainly a lot more explodey than the previous Hellraisers.
Oh yeah, I'm a Barbie girl.
Then she goes into a church. The priest isn't helping with demons unless a collection plate is involved.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
How dare you!
Sorry, Father, Pinhead isn't Catholic. Pinhead does this whole thing where he pulls a couple nails from his head and he gives himself stigmata. It's the passion of the Pinhead. He also gives the priest a really gross communion. Joey manages to distract Pinhead and gets him to leave. Too bad she didn't do that one priest ago. Then Joey gets trapped in a construction site. Dead end. Terry and JP are Cenobites now. Her theme is smoking and he's... I think this is a sex thing.
Down the dark decades of your pain.
Joey tinkers with the box and uses it against the Cenobites.
Look out, she's got a side.
The Cenobites get sucked into the box. Suddenly, she finds herself in a meadow. It's all peaceful up in here, and her father shows up. He says, "Give me the box." And if you've seen Contact, you know this is bullshit.
Thank you, Joey.
Big shock, it's Pinhead. He's usually so honest. Since when does he have to trick people?
Couldn't resist playing games, could you?
Pinhead's about to give Joey the Cenobite makeover, but now he's in Elliot's world, bitch. It's pink versus kink. Elliot and Pinhead struggle, but decide to team up and put their heads together. Pinhead absorbs Elliot, but he's still got enough power to advise Joey one last time.
Joey! Send me to hell!
Just solve the damn puzzle already. She turns the box into a knife and stabs Pinhead, and this finally stops him.
Go to hell.
And like that, it's over. Pinhead's gone, the box is normal, and she's alive with her skin intact. She throws the box into the building's foundation, which is still wet concrete for some reason, and sometime later, the building is completed with some really questionable decor. You want to bet there's a gold toilet in here somewhere? That was Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. Joey is the plucky reporter who has never, ever seen a horror movie in her entire life. Her subplot with her killed-in-Nam father tries to be a character trait, but it just seems to set up a device used to fool her later. JP is a crude human analog to Pinhead, but ultimately he's just a cardboard cutout with a boner. Pinhead delivers his lines with Shakespearean gravitas while looking at home on your grandmother's sewing table. Honestly, it's not hard to root for Pinhead because he's more unhinged this time, probably because he's not tethered to the rules of the box anymore. This makes him more dangerous. You don't even have to mess with the box anymore to get unalived. I can't say that word with a straight face anymore. Yeah! But that unhingedness robs him of what made him Pinhead. Even the stigmata scene, while gross and disturbing just seemed to be a little overly theatrical for Pinhead, done just to be shocking. Like and subscribe. Anthony Hickox takes on all this debauchery with a gleeful disregard for subtlety. The cinematography is more daring this time around. There's some interesting shots and some interesting over-the-shoulder compositions. I liked how this tied things together in the same space. The special effects in this movie are delightfully retro. The Cenobites are very much theme-based, almost lazy and on the nose with their designs. This guy's a bartender, so barbed wire, naturally. The DJ is built around CDs. Terry smokes a lot, so smokin'. And again, I think this is a sex thing. The film doesn't shy away from blood and guts, but it's so excessive it's more fun than frightening. The larger scale opens up the Hellraiser world to more than a spooky house or asylum. What's next? Space? Oh my god. There are times where I felt like I was watching two separate movies that don't feel too connected at first. There's the normal reporter after a storied plotline, but things don't really take off until Pinhead is resurrected. The chaotic pacing doesn't allow for much character development, but who needs that when you got these chains flying around? The action is spectacularly over the top. It's packed with gory, sometimes inventive kills. They turn everyday objects like CDs and cameras into weapons that are horrifying, yet still kind of funny. It's plain to see this movie doesn't take itself too seriously.
That's a wrap.
Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth is 2.5 Bs. Despite some entertaining moments, it fails with an incoherent plot, lack of character development, and cringy dialogue. This movie might not win any awards, but it can be a fun, although gory and goofy ride. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, the bell, that usual YouTube stuff. This is The Newbie, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles.